And welcome. I'm Summer, and in this session we will be discussing distracting with accepts. It's classified under the distress tolerance banner, so it's perfectly slotting in here. But this skill is more used for putting something off rather than actually dealing with it. Maybe something's too stressful or your mood is affecting you. Giving yourself a short break and then coming back to it might be nice and might give you a better head to deal with it. An example, we'll be doing a taste testing for things. You can go nose blind, or you smell something enough that you don't pick up any other subtle cues in it anymore. Stepping away for a moment or doing some other skills might benefit that whole tasting thing. Distracting, or it's how it's actually known, distracting with accepts, where like usual is an acronym. Activities is contributing, comparisons, emotions, push away, thoughts, and sensations. And if any of these sound familiar, that's alright. You most likely have done some of these in your past. It's just we want to do them more mindfully in the future. A, or activities, is doing something. For me, it's knitting, crochet, listening to music, playing video games, watching stuff on YouTube. This will get you doing something else so that you can focus your mind on a different task. And do keep in mind that these things might fit in multiple categories going forward. The first C is for contributing. This can be things like volunteering, helping friends, family, talking with friends, basically just helping somebody out in any way possible. And helping somebody else with whatever they are doing or going through can be a nice break from your issues. Though don't try and take up every humanitarian issue to run away from your own problems. C2, Electric Boogaloo, is for comparisons. It can be tricky comparing yourself to others, mostly because you don't want to feel bad about not handling your situation well enough. So if you do compare, don't go dragging yourself down. Be mindful and tease apart what others might have done better and try and incorporate their lessons learned. E, or emotions, is changing your mood and emotional state. By changing your emotional state, you can look at your problems in a different light. This is similar to a friend dragging you out to a club after a breakup and kind of getting your groove back. Looking at funny videos online or playing some scary games might help shock the system back into what is a more effective state. But make sure you don't go down a different rabbit hole before taking care of the first one. That can be either plugging it up, dealing with it later, or dealing with it now. P is for push away, and it's leaving the situation for later if you can. This doesn't work with all situations, but it does work wonders for those that it's kind of built for. Like exploring deeper issues with yourself, your psychology, because it's the embodiment of, that is a future me problem, and right now I am an asshole. While it can be good in the moment, you do have to come back to it at some point, and do keep that in mind. T is for thoughts, which is a whole range of things. It's basically forcing your mind into doing something very cognitively challenging rather than physically challenging. Some of these exercises can be count to 10, 100 times. It can be working out puzzles and things like that. But getting your mind off of it can be helpful. Lastly, S is for sensations, doing something soothing to your senses, which is very similar to next week's skill, which is self-soothe. But squeezing the stress ball, listening to loud music, within reason, taking a hot or cold shower, and for me, sometimes just feeling different textures can help kind of put me in a different mood. The biggest issue with it, though, is you can't always do this in the space that's provided because you're going to be out in public. And even though fidget spinners and like fidget cubes have become a lot better, they're still viewed lower down for a lot of people, and that does suck. With distracting, you need to keep in mind that these won't fix the issues. You do have to come back to them eventually. They just make it easier to deal with later on. This is also not a comprehensive list, so feel free to add your own and make the skill work for you. I would recommend having at least something from each category so that you can pull it out when needed. You don't know when a situation will impact you differently than before. Alright, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If this has been informative, please leave a like, or if you have any questions on the skill, please leave them in the comments below. As always, shine big, shine bright, and don't let your spark die out.